So that remains my short-term price target, although I do think... All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom. This is not financial advice. We're here to talk about all things investing. And today I want to do an update on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin mining stocks. We have some serious action this morning, so I want to pick up where we left off. I did an update Friday afternoon talking about the weekend, so I just want to take a look at what happened over the weekend and what's happening right now. Just at the open today, we hit a significant spot. I want to go through that and show you what's happened. So let's just run through the Bitcoin miners right now and see what everybody's doing. So Bitcoin is up 3% right now. Bitfarms is up 1.63%. HUT is up 3.53%. Marathon is up 1.1%. Riot is up 0.78%. Digital is now down 0.67%. Cleanspark's down 0.08%. So that's what's going on with the miners. And now let's take a look at why. So if I go to the chart, you'll see that last week we added these two purple lines. And going into the weekend, so this was the last line that we added going into the weekend. I was hoping we would hold support here at around 44,900, but we did talk about the fact that we were probably going to test 44,000. So that is what happened, and we've tested 44,000 a couple of times, and it looks like it has held strong, so that is good news. So over the weekend, this spot right here was just after hours on Friday. And then again, right here, yesterday, we tested 44,000. It actually did go below that, but the candle closed right there. This is a 1 hour chart right now. So, we held it on the 1 hour, and typically what you look for is to hold it on the 4 hour, which we easily held it on. So we tested that a couple of times at 44,000. I'm going to say the two purple lines that we just added for the purposes of monitoring this over the weekend, and you'll see this purple line at 44,905. We tested that here. It kind of held right here, held right here, held right here, and then we broke below this and, tested 44,000. So this purple line was a very short-term line of support and resistance. This was really just for the weekend only. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. I'm going to put the chart back to the way it was before we went into the weekend. We added these two purple lines. Other than that, we have not touched this chart. Okay, so I've deleted those two purple lines, and I think that helps put things into better perspective. So these are the longer-term lines of support and resistance that have been on the chart for a while. There's two lines that have been very significant since the flash crash last week. I want to go through those two lines, and that is what we're looking at, because you will see that we hit one of them this morning, and we've kind of had a pretty serious reversal just in the last 45 minutes. So I don't know where it's going to be at. It's now coming up on 10:30 Tuesday morning. We peaked out at around 9:30 or 9:35. All of the Bitcoin miners actually opened up significantly more than they are right now, and I'm going to show you why. I think we've got a new spot we need to pay attention to and see what's going to happen. So this was the crash right here. So the line I want to pay attention to is this $46,743 blue line right here. So since this crashed, you'll see we were a little bit above that, but basically we've been inside of that line, went a tiny bit above it again, and then since basically right here on September 9th, it's been all within side of this line. And at 9:30 this morning, we hit the line. So that line, which had been support in the past, since the crash, has now turned into a line of resistance. We bounced off of that, and even as I'm speaking, all the Bitcoin miners are turning from green, and they were actually green and running at the open this morning. One by one, they're all turning red. So hopefully by the time you see this, we've turned back around, but I am afraid we are stuck in a trading range here. Okay, so we're zoomed into the 5-minute chart. So there you can see this was 9:30 this morning. This was 9:35 this morning. So you can see we pretty much exactly bounced off of that line of resistance at about 9:35 this morning. So as an aside, we're making a big push towards 3,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. That is why for the first 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes, the mining stocks were raging. And again, I'm watching even more of them turn red as I'm talking. Hopefully, that trend has reversed by the time I get this video up on YouTube, and maybe we're back in the green. But this is the battle that we're fighting. So it's clear now. Things were a little hazy over the weekend. We were kind of trading sideways all weekend. It felt like we were trending downward, but in reality, we were really pretty much just trading sideways. And I think we're back to this longer-term line of resistance right here. So what I would like to do today on the chart is I'm going to change the color of this because this is, to me, the important line. So just for the purposes of us keeping track of what we're doing here on this chart as we go along, I have changed that line at 46,700 to a green line. Right now, that is the most significant line on the chart, in my opinion. And you can see as we rallied up into that, the Bitcoin miners were on fire, and immediately, even within a 15 to 30 minute period, as we bounced off of it and went lower, all the Bitcoin miners sank. Looks like we've got a couple of, I'm on the 5 minute here, but it looks like we've got a few green candles in a row. So not a lot to be gained, in my opinion, looking at the 5 minute chart, other than I wanted to zoom in and show you that we really did bounce just right exactly off of this line at about 9:35 this morning. Okay, I'm back to the 1 hour chart because I think it's more meaningful. So we're at 46,346 right now. That's about $400 down, which doesn't seem like much. In the grand scheme of Bitcoin, $400 is almost nothing. But that just, I think, reinforces how important this green line is at 46,743. I'm going to call it 46,700. That line of resistance, as we headed up to it and touched it, the Bitcoin mining stocks were reacting extremely positively. So as we're moving away from it, they're reacting extremely negatively. So we have to see what happens the rest of the day. The other line that I want to point out that I think is the other side of our trading range now at this point is this line at $44,000. On Friday, we talked about how we needed to hold that line over the weekend. We did hold that line over the weekend. You can see that we really tested that line yesterday at around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So that was a strong test, but it held, and it went all the way from the bottom of our support line pretty much straight up to our new green resistance line. So that, I believe, is our trading range right now. And for as long as we're stuck in that, trying to look at the chart and see if we're going up or down, I think doesn't make much of a difference. I think we're stuck in between 44,000 and 46,700, and anything in between there, for me, as I'm looking at this chart, I'm going to consider all that sideways movement. So again, this is not financial advice. So to summarize, it looks like at about 9:35 this morning, we touched a line of resistance, which is now, I'm saying, the key line of resistance. We need to break through this 46,700, and then I really see very little resistance between that and our yellow line, which is an even longer term trend line at about 48,000. So what I would like to see is break through 46,700, hold that line. I think if we do that, we'll run right up to 48,000, and then we need to hold that line. Because remember, from a big picture standpoint, I'm still looking to get up to this yellow line at $51,415. So that remains my short-term price target, although I do think we are stuck inside of a trading range right now that we cannot seem to get out of. So it's going to break one way or the other. I'm still bullish. I still believe it's going to break to the upside. I'd like to see it break through the green line at 46, get above the yellow line at 48, and then see how fast we can run up to 51. That's what I'm looking for. Having said that, it is just as likely that we stay stuck in this range between 44 and 46,700 and see some more sideways activity. I still believe that our $44,000 line of support is holding strong. It held up all weekend. It's been holding up all week so far this week. If we break that line of support and it turns into a line of resistance, then I think we could be looking at a run down to 40,000. Again, my line at 40,000 is red. I think that is a super strong line of support. I think 44,000 is a strong line of support as well. So I don't think we're going to break down through the 44,000, but if we do, then I would look to maybe see us run to 40,000. However, like I said, I'm looking for the opposite. Let's break through this green line at 46,743 and move to the upside. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what direction this is going in the short term. So I've kind of given you my lines of support and resistance. I think 44,000 is a strong line of support. If we break lower, 40,000 is a super strong line of support. But I'm looking to head up and break through some of these lines of resistance and maybe get back above the 48,000, head up to 51,000. So only time will tell. I think that the next couple hours are important because we're very near this line of resistance. We touched it at 9:35. If we can stay in this neighborhood, maybe we can push through it. So I'm hoping that happens. By the time you see this, you'll probably know whether or not that happened. I will continue to update this as we get towards important lines of support and resistance and have some meaningful movement. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.